So I first got into real estate kind of just out of luck, to be honest, but more so that my father has been in real estate for about 30 years. And so when I was coming out of high school, I was looking for something to do, and it was kind of a no-brainer at that point. So I kind of fell into the industry, fell in love with it, and kind of been history since then. So my journey from South Florida to Winter Haven was actually an interesting one. My wife and I were looking for an affordable option. At the time, we had owned a home in Fort Lauderdale, and we saw taxes and insurance going up every year. And so we were looking for something affordable. At that time, we had just had our first son, so we were trying to look for an area with good schools. That's how we stumbled across Winter Haven, and kind of simultaneously, a position with Lennar came available, so it all worked out perfectly. Yeah. So becoming a father completely changes you. It changes your DNA, but the things that were important before are no longer important, right? So everything that I do now is for my kids. And how do I build that generational wealth so that they're in a better position, and have a better starting point than I did, right? So it's all for them, yeah. So the reason that I chose to be with Lennar was because obviously they're one of the largest builders in the industry, but more so that I saw the culture here is a very welcoming culture. And so I did look elsewhere. I was looking all across the board, and when I came across Lennar, I just felt it was a perfect fit. So for me, I ended up joining with Lennar, kind of simultaneously moving to Winter Haven. And I actually ended up being based out of this community, so it worked out perfectly. So I have a 30-second drive to work. Sometimes I get to see my wife and kids for lunch. So overall lifestyle for me is a big factor into that decision.
Whatever you see online, I can probably get you about a
So I can tell you so many success stories. I think one in particular is that my wife's cousin was looking to purchase his first home. This is many years ago. And of course I helped him purchase that home as his real estate agent at the time. And that home has now turned into 3 or 4 homes. And I've kind of gotten a chance to see, not just him, but many of my clients and family members kind of climb that real estate ladder. And it's really cool to be a part of that journey with them, to hear the excitement in their voice, to see what it does for their families. And like I said, it really goes back to the generational wealth, right? This is, I think, a fundamental part of building that wealth. But yeah, it's been good so far. Yeah. One of the things that kind of helps me stand out is the fact that I'm so focused on building generational wealth. I think one of the key factors is that I'm also in that journey with my clients. So we're getting to walk the journey together and experience the highs and the lows together. And I think that's helped me stand out, right? So I've kind of become an investment specialist, if you would, right? Obviously it starts with having a primary home first, but then the conversation opens up to, well, how do we build upon this, right? How do we leave a legacy for our kids? And what steps do we need to take to get there? Like I said, I try to walk that journey with my clients. They get to see some of the mistakes I've made and hopefully learn from those as well. I think that's probably the key part that helps me stand out, if you would. I think one of the biggest aspects to finding your new home is where are you comfortable, right? What are you looking for? I think we have some really important discovery questions that we need to ask in order for us to really find the perfect match. And I like to tell people it's more of a matchmaking job than anything, right? I need to understand you as a family first and foremost, and what your goals are for the short term and for the long term, right? And that's how we kind of match you up. Coincidentally, Winter Haven is a community that's very attractive to families, right? It's where I live as well. And so again, I'm selling the life that I already live, right? And so, plenty of my clients have become my neighbors. And so I think that's a big part of it as well. Staying motivated is important. Everyone has a different kind of strategy to that. For me, my driving factor is my family. So when I decide, I feel like I don't want to get out of bed, I just think well, I need to feed my kids, right? And so that's a big part of it. But there are other times where you have to dig deep and you have to find new motivation as well. So I try to keep myself always looking at new opportunities, something to work towards, right? Either be purchasing a new investment, investing in stocks, in crypto, whatever that may be. Sometimes it's just a vacation, right? Hey, I want to go on vacation, so now I need to do these things in order to get there, right? So yeah, always another pin on the board to kind of chase after. Being that we have such a shortage on inventory, demand is for these type of communities, right? I think specifically for Winter Haven and specifically to Peace Creek, I just think because of the type of clients that we attract, there's always a healthy flow of business coming in. So you need to, as a young professional or a professional now getting into this industry, you need to identify where the market's going and kind of figure out how do you fit into that whole picture, right? So I think Winter Haven, being that it has a good, healthy starting price point, is important. And if you're a new professional, you're gonna wanna be in this part of the business where there's constant flow of traffic. So I love Peace Creek. Right? I think sometimes they even joke, they call me Mr. Peace Creek, right? I love everything about Peace Creek. I think the proximity to shopping is awesome. You're far enough away where you feel like you have your own little sanctuary, if you would. Then you're close enough that there's tons of stuff for you to do in the area. And then, my kids are Legoland freaks, so it makes it very easy that it's 10 minutes away. But yeah, and we're surrounded by a beautiful preserved area. So you feel like you're kind of tucked away, but you're still always 10 minutes away from all the action. Yeah, so I think from an aspiration perspective, I have big dreams, big goals. I think long-term professionally, I see myself being with Lennar for many more years. And throughout that process, I'm looking to continue to build upon my investment portfolio, right? So I'm always looking at new areas. One of the areas that I am focused in on is Winter Haven. There are a lot of opportunities in this area, and there's tons of people moving in. There's a great community here. The neighbors are very friendly. The kids all grow up together, they go to the same schools. And so for me, it's a matter of bringing all those pieces together and just exposing them to the opportunities and just showing them what the lifestyle could be like.